Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the 1st of July 2017. Shit, man. I just woke up. I'm fucking still grouchy as hell. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm doing this video. But I feel like it's my due diligence or whatever. Sit here and explain everything to everybody. Give you my first reaction to this video, to this new album that just came out from Acacia strain. So in case you don't know what's going on out there, actually the only reason I woke up this morning is because every time I start moving in my bed, it seems like I'll rock in the bed and then I'll hear a horn beeping outside instantly, and it just seems like somebody's in tune with the movement of this phone. They got some kind of sensor on it. Well, basically the phone is itself a sensor. It knows exactly how it's tilted and exactly when it's moving. So probably I just kept it underneath my mattress because I don't like being surveilled 24 hours a day. I'm not comfortable with it. But the other day I posted this video to my channel about how flawed the new healthcare bill was, and it was a short, concise video that got to the point and explained everything in easy to understand terms. And also, so basically, as soon as I posted that video to my channel, whoever's sitting here next door to me, I heard him beating on the wall, boom, boom, boom. So, anyways, I'm staying in different rooms around town right now, and I moved, so I got tossed out of that house, which is gonna work out for me better in the long run because I'm just taking control of my financial future and getting less dependent on other people. It's kind of ends up screwing people in the long run if you look at different demographics of people that are put on welfare and then people who decide not to get on welfare or who aren't put on welfare or whatever. They end up succeeding in life. So it's just, I'm happy about it, so it's actually working out really good, if you can believe that or not. I'm running into some trouble trying to get my business started again. In the busiest time of the year, you gotta just kind of get it, help where you can get it, and then just oversee people, and then they screw up, and they can't do certain things, but they can do certain things, and it just reflects badly on me. So I'm under a lot of stress. But other than that, like I said, I want to get to the video, the music. So this new album by Acacia strain is basically just a bunch of stuff about, it's not as crazy as I thought it would be. I think they basically teased out everything about me that, you have to excuse my voice too. I'm irritable right now. I just woke up and the Wi-Fi isn't working properly. I'm thinking about people stalking me and following me around again, and the goddamn, I sign into Wi-Fi, it kicks me off. This is the first time that's ever happened, and I don't have any background noise, so somehow they take precedent, and if you leave your cameras where they can see you, then you get screwed with more, and if they can hear you breathing, then you get screwed with more. You can believe what you want, but this is my experience. But anyway, so I'm just all pissed off. My voice is just fluctuating right now. I'm just so fucking pissed off and irritable, I can't even think and keep my voice straight and think straight. I'm sorry. If you don't believe that, just fucking believe it. I'm not nervous about anything that's going on right now. Anyway, can't really do a video right now. I'm not gonna do it right now. Probably in a week or so. But anyways, so this album from Acacia strain, it's a bunch of stuff. It's not, like I said, it's not as crazy as I thought it would be. Pretty much everything that was gonna be pretty much everything that was going to be everything that was gonna be the crazy shit that where they basically attack me personally and make it a personal attack. They teased that out already, and so I think they just couldn't wait for me to find that shit. It seems to be kind of like their favorite thing in the world is to, like the album Wormwood. I mean, literally is, a good way of putting it is an album that will stand the test of time. It will go on. People will be able to appreciate this forever. And I'll be honest with you, it's really melodic too, and well made. There's parts of that song where the editor got in and, I mean, you could just tell where some music editor, DJ type person has gone to work on this thing. They didn't just slap it together, I'll tell you that. That album was good, man. And you could make the argument, well, yeah, they didn't slap it together. It's been made from the highest level. Didn't you hear them say there were wolves in sheep's clothing in that album? And that they were attacking you personally? Well, the whole album could have just been made just to portray themselves as some kind of positive thing, only to be then say we're actually wolves in sheep's clothing, just to make that one single attack. And that, like I said, the point of what I was saying is that's the only songs on that album that they made music videos of. So it's like I say, the whole point was to say that's their favorite thing. They're gonna tease those out first. They're gonna make that music video. They're not gonna make a music video for any single other badass song, in my opinion. And probably because that wasn't the point, But what I'm trying to say is that as far as that album is concerned, those people, this is something I probably haven't said enough, but those people were really probably being superstitious and really did believe that I was, because I was just talking crazy shit, and really it's because I was scared out of my mind. Because everybody was dropping dead. I was stumbling across this report on $3.5 trillion, and the only people I was acquainted with just both dropped dead within a couple weeks. And like I said before, these aren't people that were really, they were just people that I was in contact with at the time. I didn't even know either one of them very long, and probably wouldn't have gone on being in touch with them forever. But they were people that possibly killed as an intimidation tactic against me. I don't know. For me to drop dead, maybe that would have been too much, so they just started killing other people. I don't know. I was scared out of my mind. I said a lot of crazy shit. I'm sorry. And it's possible that the whole point is that they made something out of what I was thinking, like, the crazy superstitious shit. I was thinking God was telling me to do shit. It's probably not even really what happened. Probably something else was going on. Probably just some kind of telepathy shit. Who even fucking cares? It's not really what I wanted to end up talking about. I've gone 9 minutes now. I haven't even really gone into what I'm trying to say. It's fucking pathetic. But what I do want to say is that, geez, there's shit that comes to me during the day that I'm just sitting here going, shit, I gotta tell that. I gotta remember to say that, and I'll fucking forget again. And it'll just be something of dire importance. I'm just gonna have to start making short videos about that alone. Just whenever it comes to me. Because it'll come to me again. But, and you can call dire importance what you want. It's something important to me. But, get into this fucking album, please, if I can just do that. It's actually not that bad. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was the best album I've ever heard. And I think this guy really does sit around listening to me talk. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I really couldn't just sit and listen to you talk. I probably can eventually. Right now I'm not able to. Probably just still too pissed off about all the shit you said about blowing my brains out and shit, killing me, goddamn, all the, and that probably really wouldn't even bother me that much if it wasn't for all the other shit you pulled, you know, stalking my fucking girlfriend and all this shit, making music about it, telling me that you're doing it, some kind of sideways attempt to screw with me. And honestly, oh yeah, that is something I wanted to say. That I think this is actually what I was trying to remember to say. That I didn't, because I knew I'd remember. I've said before that, you know, I knew there were wolves in sheep's clothing and I just put up with all this. I said that in a state of, I think I was probably drunk and pissed off. But that didn't occur to me that that's what they were saying in that song until about 24 hours before I published that video. Is the Acacia strain an attack dog for the New York zombie banks, I think is what I said. And which is just one way of putting it. I mean, you call it tyranny, whatever. But it took me a long time to put that together. Obviously, they didn't just come out and say it. And when it did occur to me, I was pretty pissed off. So, you know, I've spent a lot of time in meditation just trying to keep my brain quiet, and it's not really a philosophy that I live by anymore. And part of the reason why is because I don't think shit like that would even occur to me, you know, if it wasn't for just spinning my wheels all the time and just letting myself think however it is that I naturally will end up thinking. And yeah, it's just a side point, but you know, I think the point of the story is that that's what I'm aware of is hold on, I've got to do something real quick. But yeah, that's what I'm aware of. I'm aware of the fact that they did that, and that their whole thinking is basically pure intimidation tactics, probably. You know, it's what I'm aware of as of now. And even at that, man, I really didn't give a fucking shit anymore, to be honest with you. I was already fed up with their shit. It's just, that's probably why I was thinking about them so much, because I was already fucking sick of them. I was already sick of hearing them talk about killing me, and sick of hearing them trying to fucking degrade me every time I turn around and trying to, you know, talk shit about my family and shit. Oh, God. And that's something I probably don't talk about enough either, is the fact that song Mother Mary with the Broken Face is about my mom and how she has kind of a break in her nose from being Native American and whatnot, from her heritage. It's a pretty strong break in her nose. I mean, her nose probably goes down at a 45-degree angle, and then it probably drops 15 degrees at the center, like as if you took your knuckle on your hand and you kind of went like that and just tilted it at about 15-20 degrees. I mean, a noticeable, it's just like there was a fucking, like a point, like you know, the point of a triangle or something, of a, you know, obtuse triangle or something. And it's just, you know, it kind of fucking talks down my mom, so I don't like bringing it up. But I don't think it really affected her looks too much, except when she was all fucking pissed off, which is about 90% of the time. And depressed and shit, and just walk around with this scowl on her face, and if they saw her in that light, somehow got on her phone or something, I guess that's how they found out everything they found out. I don't think my ex-girlfriend was going around advertising to everybody she was strung out on pills either. And shit. Yeah, just gotta assume that's possible, or even did happen. I like to tell myself this is a bunch of goddamn rumors and shit that's spinning around about my ass, because she was pretty famous and probably had a lot of people who was just hanging on to her and talking about her all the time and in contact with her, you know, hanging out with people and whatnot. So, you know, I like to think that really it's just some kind of fucked up intimidation tactic, or somebody trying to screw with me who's probably jealous, you know? Because, yeah, she was pretty damn hot. I mean, more than just a model, she was actually a Hawaiian Tropic model, and then on top of that, she actually made it into the calendar. And she wasn't like a main big page. She was one of those little corner images that, you know, you have the main image and you have the little one in the bottom right hand corner. But to be honest with you, I'm pretty damn sure she was hotter than everybody else. And a lot of those people were getting placed because they knew people. And I mean, the first pageant or thing that she did, she went on stage and basically lost. And then later everybody found out that it was because everybody was some kind of conspiracy where the woman who owned the place, the venue, her daughter did better than everybody else, and then there were some other people who knew people and they did better than everybody else, and it just wasn't fair, so then she made it anyways. And anyway, she was pretty fucking hot, man, and I just like to think that and she was on television. She had more people following her on she had more friends on MySpace than he's got followers on Twitter. He's got over 20,000 followers on Twitter. I think she had about 35,000. So many that she even just turned it off because she said, well, I don't need to be in touch with that many people, probably to keep me from getting jealous or something. And anyways, that was a part of my life for a long time, and I'm sure people found out about it and found reason to fucking hate me and fucking trail me around. Who fucking knows? You know, I mean, seems plausible. But everything else that they found out about me came really afterward and was in a totally different atmosphere. I don't know how they found out. Part of me thinks they've been in touch with Alex Jones. That's who I was blowing up, you know. That's who I was harassing him, really, if you want to look at it that way. Probably driving him crazy. I don't know if I want to call it harassment. But that's probably because he let it drive him crazy. He shouldn't even been listening. Should have had somebody else in there. Hey, come in here and listen to this shit and tell me the important shit. Because he doesn't trust anyone, and he doesn't have the instincts to know that you can't just listen to everything that comes in your fucking voicemail, you know? Or he just doesn't care to because he's too curious, you know? Which I would say any of those are possible, especially the last one seems very possible. It's probably what I would prefer. But anyways, look, here's the point. As far as this album is concerned, and I'm sorry it took this long if you're still fucking listening, I don't know. Most people won't make it this far. Probably I'll end up getting 20 people to listen to this shit, and it'll just be ridiculous. And probably at some point I probably will end up pouring money into every one of these videos and making sure that all these videos have probably at least 1,000 views. And then to start pouring money into one way or another. And then just start pouring money into my YouTube and doing advertising different ways and getting my message out there, because I can't just justify talking to a few people who can't even appreciate what I'm saying and want to sit there and run me down and tell me nobody's really listening or whatever. I had a little bit of that to deal with, and I'm 20 minutes in and I've barely even talked about this yet. Look, the point of the story is that if you're still listening, the album wasn't that bad. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if part of this shit seems like what they're trying to do is to fuck with my head. But the first time I listened to it, the very first time I listened to it, I was listening and I was going, okay, I just feel like I've been romanticized, you know what I mean? And you know, and I don't know if what his intention is. I have no way of knowing that. I don't think anybody knows that other than a few people who helped make it, and maybe somebody who fed him his lyrics. Maybe he wrote them himself. Maybe only he knows. I don't know. But what I do want to say is that you know, the first time listening to it, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I didn't say to myself, wow, this is awesome, because for one, I don't know if I even could anymore. And I had that thought to myself, you know, this may be really great music, but by the time I get done listening to it, it's not going to be that great. It's not going to be that great because this person has talked way too much shit about me to really say, wow, I love your music, I appreciate, you know, I appreciate you spotlighting me like this and bringing attention to, you know, the things that cause me frustration, or, you know, different types of emotional distress that I've been in. And I don't know, man. I mean, I wouldn't even thank him really, because it's too flattering. It's probably flattery, you know. And you look at, you know, the posters that he hangs and shit while he's playing his albums now. Just look at flattery. I don't fucking know. Okay. Part of me thinks that really that's part of the fucking game, you know, is for me to buy into some kind of flattery so then you can fuck with me even more, try to get me listening to it so you can screw with me. It just seems like a bunch of egghead bullshit. And to be honest with you, on top of that, I know that they do that, because if you listen to that album Wormwood, I mean, if you take him at his word that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, then they actively do sit there and try to build me up, and then start tearing apart my mind, you know, with different kinds of aggressive tactics. That is more than possible. That's what they're doing. And it's some kind of war game, probably tactic. I don't know if it's having its effect or not. It's probably not, but you know, in their minds it is, and it might be, you know. But what I will go ahead and say is that, like I said, it didn't bother me much what they had to say. Now, I did hear something about a person talking about like finding a dead woman, and I was like, well, okay, what the fuck was that? I couldn't really make out what they were saying, and then I went and looked up the lyrics, and the lyrics weren't posted as to what it was. It was the little conversation. They had a movie clip in there where it was just a conversation. So I had to go. I couldn't remember which song it was, so I had to go through the whole fucking album, listen to the whole fucking thing again, just immediately, which is not really good if you're looking to like keep a song and preserve it as something that you want to be able to listen to, you know, a couple dozen times. You cannot just listen to it a couple dozen times within the first day, you know, because you fucking ruin it. And it's just the way music is, and so every song eventually is going to get old to you, pretty much. There may be some songs that'll last you longer, and all that, but for the average person, it's just not going to work. And so by the time I had listened to it twice, and I was listening to it for my second and third time, I was thinking, geez, man, this is really starting to bug me, you know. And because he's talking about negative shit in my life, you know. And this person probably I've already gotten to another level with, where I don't want him to say any fucking thing about me, you know. And every little thing that he does say, you know, especially you know, if it's taken the wrong way, if they don't post their lyrics immediately and I mishear something and I think they're trying to say something else, I've gone off the deep end, and there's been a lot of trouble there in that category, as far as actions that I've taken against these people, and then had them blow up on me and almost got myself fucking killed. And this is a long fucking story. I don't want to talk about it again. I've talked about it. I've got the video out there explaining all this shit. It was a pretty long video. If you can sit through the whole thing, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. And there's probably not many people that have, even of the people that have clicked that video, so probably nobody really knows what's going on, but it's pretty interesting. But, you know, I don't know. In saying that, I guess I'm trying to say possibly, you know, if it is having this effect, hey, maybe it is designed that way. Maybe it's designed to fuck with me. You know, maybe it's designed to fuck with my head. You know, I don't know. And if I do let it bother me, then it's on me. It's not any kind of problem, you know, that I should be putting on anybody else. And I don't know, man. I guess it's pretty good. I mean,
telecom was up 3.8%, but not everything did. Telecom.
Damn, see, that's the kind of shit that drives me, sudden noises and shit. You know, I guess it's kind of good in a way. I mean, if you want to say, shit. I just don't know if I'm at a point to say anything you've done is good, okay? It's just a devolving mindset, and it's about, well, I'll tell you what it's about. I mean, a lot of what that's about, I haven't really gone into because I think it's pretty obvious to you, but, you know, he talks about just being in a total state of distress and having buzzards flying over your head, and they know all the secrets, and they're, you know, calculating against you, and you're just sitting there, you know, trying to figure out how to cope, you know. And that's what I've said about Alex Jones, and you know, taking my message and taking it into adulterating it on purpose and trying to get everything pointed at him. And I think a lot of what I'm seeing in his lyrics is shit about the fact that he doesn't believe. So starting off with like the song, what is it, Sensory Deprivation. It sounds like he's more of a like, you know, somebody who speculates as to whether or not I'm even sane when I say people are following me around, and probably doesn't really speculate, but just doesn't want to bring himself to believe it, and just thinks I'm full of shit. Whereas now maybe he's believing me more. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't fucking know. That's what I like to think. That's how most people are. That's what I would expect. You know, when you come in here and you say, you know, talking about how I'm lost in my world of enemies and whatnot, and you come in here and you say, you know, you're crazy, none of this shit is going on. Well, you know, I'm not crazy, and it is all going on, and I think that it is denial on your part. I don't think you're not willing to believe me. I just think, yeah, I think you're not willing to believe me, but you pretty much in the back of your mind know. But then again, he probably was trying to put my grief out there about what was going on in that song too, so probably it's all just having to do with the fact that I'm getting screwed with. But that's just a little piece of speculation. Look, what I do want to say is that the song didn't bother me. You know, none of this shit bothers me at all. You know, I'm just happy that he did it, to be honest with you, because the shit really does bug me, and it gives me all kinds of attention. You know, so everybody likes attention. You know, it's not that bad. I mean, he does, for sure, there's parts in that album where he's talking shit to me. And I'll have to go back and listen to the whole fucking bullshit album again. The whole fucking thing is just so goddamn negative. I just don't think I can listen to it that much. And it's just one goddamn negative. Droning with negativity almost, you know? And, but I mean, it's not the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. It's not bad music. But I will say that, something about, god damn it, I wish I had those lyrics in front of me right now. I don't fucking remember. Just figure it out on your own. There's definitely shit in there where he's talking shit to me. There's definitely shit in there where talking about how I'm always the victim, you know, how I feel like I'm always the victim or something. Or maybe he's talking about somebody else, but in some of those I know for a fact he's talking about me. Probably a couple. And then there's some where he's just basically illustrating a scenario. And maybe he's doing it to stay relevant. I don't fucking know, you know. I don't think I'm really the person to cast any type of positive speculation on him. Y'all can do that. I was pleased to find out that he wasn't just outright every fucking song on the album talking about killing me, or having, or wanting me dead, or, you know, it's not that I don't enjoy that. On some level, actually, I do enjoy it, but on many, many levels, I don't. And I mean, I have taken inspiration from it. I mean, it has driven me, honestly, to make music where, you know, the parts of that song that weren't talking about killing me, just different shit about me, to refute it or somehow twist it to where it was understandable as to what the hell was going on, to give a better explanation of it. So in that respect, I guess it's been good in a way. Not a lot of people have even listened to my fucking music, probably because the fucking audio quality is so shit. When I go back and listen to it, it just didn't come out very well. And then the cops came and took my fucking, it took a bunch of weed plants, and like I said, I still haven't been charged for that. I still don't know what happened, and based on the circumstances, it just looked like a big, looked like a big orchestration of events that was taking place against me in order to silence me, or basically just to silence me. Because if I'm reaching people, if I'm talking to people, then shit. It's not just that. I mean, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And honestly, when I woke up this morning, I was thinking to myself, you know what, who even fucking cares? I don't even want to go into it. Just, who fucking cares? You know? This album is interesting, I'll say that. I woke up this morning and I was thinking to myself, well, you know, it wasn't, I was thinking to myself, geez, why do people have to be so fucking negative towards me? Why do people have to fucking attack me and try to drag me down? And that's another thing about it. I think that part of this album was designed to try to have me singing along to the lyrics. So I'm sitting there and I'm singing this negative shit, and it's all really pertinent to me. So then the album is really designed to to get me in that mind state, and have me sitting there going, you know, singing along to negative shit about my life and the hopelessness of whatever that entails, until it drives me fucking crazy. And I mean, that has bothered me on many levels, you know. Like I was saying, I woke up this morning and I was thinking, you know, why do you have to be like that? Why do you have to try to put me in a negative place, you know? I'm fucking already negative enough. I have enough problems as it is. There's no need in that. It's just, why, you know? And I was still kind of halfway thinking about the dream I had just had, and I was still in kind of that little bit of a positive mind state, I would say, emotionally. You just, that feeling when you first wake up and you get some kind of enlightenment from the dream that you just had. It kind of, your brain's been resolving things in your sleep, and it's kind of carrying into your wakeful state, and you're feeling kind of positive. And then I heard that horn beep, and it was like post-traumatic stress just kicked in, you know? And all of a sudden, the whole fucking feeling went from that to, well, you know what? They're fucking right. And I'm just glad that they're bringing this negative shit out, because it is that fucked up. And to be honest with you, they didn't fucking make it negative enough, you know? I was like, you know what? Fucking A, man. Just give me everything you got, because you cannot say enough. Everything is so screwed up in my head. Everything, it's so much pain, you know what I mean? It's just so much pain, you know? I mean, when you have post-traumatic stress, and then you have a sudden noise or and all these triggers around you, it's like being in a minefield, and your brain is just erupting constantly, and even if you get the slightest bit of just clarity for a brief moment, then you've got all these, like you call them jackals, you know, dancing around, and they're not going to let you have it for 1 fucking second, man. They're absolutely committed to this shit, you know? I mean, they couldn't be more committed, you know? And that's another thing that fucks me up, you know, is how is it that I have people follow me around, you know? I've posted the fucking evidence. I showed you, I put a video, I ended up putting money behind it and bought almost every fucking view that you see it has. You see that picture of those people carrying cots outside of their house, and you see my truck. And you see this mattress in the bed of my truck, and you see me in the reflection taking their picture as they're walking out of their house with cots, because as I was moving out, they just went ahead and moved out. They're right there doing that. They're right there doing that to me all the time. And it fucking drives me crazy, man, because what kind of commitment is that, you know? That's taking shit to a new level. It's not flattering to my ego. I mean, sure, on some level, you know, like a guilty pleasure, but, you know, it's not what you probably think. You probably think, wow, a real celebrity. Well, it's really fucked up because they're not writing articles about me, man. So who's paying for this, and what is the fucking intention, you know? You know what it is? It's called frantic. It's called frantic bullshit. And that's why I call it frantic endeavoring. It's because it's just like watching a person go, and you just want to say, geez, man, just shut the fuck up. You know? I will really slap you, man. I will really slap the sense into you, man. You know? I mean, seriously. I don't know if it's from being in jail or if it's from just having a hardened mind state from being around criminals and shit, because I'm in a criminal cesspit. Nothing I ever went to jail for didn't have anything to do with, even the violent shit just came out of just the drug war and shit that had to do with drug sales and shit. And that's why the goddamn homicide rate is so fucking high. And drops everywhere they stop doing this. You know, it's just... It's just really... It's really just puts me beside myself. And I'll tell you another story. This is another thing that I've been wanting to bring up. And I really haven't. It's sad that it's 37 minutes in this video. Probably only a handful of people are going to hear this anytime in the near future. But I just want to say this. There's people that follow me around on the roads. There's actually... I've seen evidence, okay, I'll put it like that, to the effect that there is an entourage of vehicles that follows me around everywhere I go. Not just 1 or 2 cars. We're talking about a dozen or 2. And that those same cars are planted all around me, and that they all come home when I come home. So I had this surveillance running. You can call it evidence. I feel like it's evidence. Okay, so I had this surveillance running on my house, and as I'm pulling up to my house, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it just seemed like every time I'd come home, I'd go out, I'd grab my mail or something, and there would just be cars buzzing up and down the street. And I'd be home at some off hour, like 1:30, or coming home at 2 or something. Maybe to stay, maybe not, just in between some business matter or something, who knows? Or maybe for the day, I don't know. But, so I'm coming home, it's like 2 o'clock, and I go to my surveillance footage, because I'm thinking, geez, why is it like this? You know, I didn't just do it the first or second time. It'd been going on for weeks. And just probably, I've felt like this a dozen or 2 dozen times. It's driving me crazy. You know, because I feel like there's eyes looking at me in the back of my head and people just glaring out of the window. Oh, there he is. It's like, god damn, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is wrong with you? So I go to my surveillance and I start looking at this. And what I find is that there wasn't really, the street wasn't busy until I got there. And then I go to Twitter and I make a tweet and I say what's going on, what I think is going on, what I've seen on my surveillance. And all of a sudden, the fucking computer shuts down, the computer stops working. And I'm sitting there going, what? So the computer doesn't fire up for a long time. I did Control-Alt-Delete, I hit the power button, held the power button. It's fucking with it for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then I pull out my phone just so I can take a picture of it, take a little video of it or something, just because I don't have anything else that I could do, you know? And really, I think it was a superficial thing to even be able to do that, because you can't prove anything from it. other than maybe the time codes and line it up with a tweet. I don't know, but I doubt it, because even at that, you don't know how long the computer's been off. Who knows? It's circumstantial evidence at best. Well, what was fucked up is the moment I hit the shutter button, you know, the button to start the recording, it was so instantaneous. It was so instantaneous, I can't even tell you how instantaneous it was. It was more instantaneous than the fuse of a blackjack firecracker, you know? I mean, a blackjack firecracker, if you take one, we used to take one when we were kids because we were stupid and shouldn't have even done this, but we would take blackjacks and we would light the fuse and then we would toss them. And they would blow up so fast that they would blow up in midair. And it was dumb. But we used to do that, and so what I'm trying to say is that it was so fucking fast that actually I didn't even capture a single thing. I went back and looked at the image or the video or whatever, and I hadn't captured anything, because it was as if the computer was on remote control to stop me from capturing that. And you know what's really fucked up is that, you know, I start thinking about stuff like this and I start getting all negative, and I just dwell in the negativity. And you know what really ends up happening, just for you guys who's perpetrating this shit, whatever you're thinking, man, all it does is, as you can see, I'm already doing a video because I think this is going, well, really the reason why is because it puts into me this spirit of revenge that I can't even tell you, man. All it does is gets me so fucking pissed off that there's no way in hell that anything in the world could convince me not to just keep making videos and keep talking shit about what's going on and keep talking shit about you and keep bringing your bullshit out into the open and exposing things, because at the end, because that's the only way. I've got to find a way to kill you, you know? I've got to find a way to kill you. I've got to find a way to just kill every single person that sits around watching other people all day long, and there's thousands of them. I mean, it's like that show, it's like that clip from the Simpsons movie where these fucking people sit around in a giant fucking room, and you can see, you know, 1,000 people in this, you know, in that clip where they show the NSA spying on everybody. And it's pretty fucked up, because honestly, it's really like that. And they built these multi-billion-dollar facilities, like the data facility in Utah that costs billions of dollars. And this is what these motherfuckers do for a living, you know? And I've thought, what can we do to these people? Can we just put them in jail, you know? And I don't even know if we can just put them in jail. I think they gotta die, you know? Because, for one, let's say I'm, you know, the president, and I'm looking at the public and I'm going, well, what would you have me do with these people? You know, if I can push for a way, use the bully pulpit or something, try to get an execution for these motherfuckers, or just whatever. Who knows how you could even do it? Try to get a law in place where you can get all these people killed. It would almost be impossible, but I mean, what would you have me push for? Would you have me sit there and try to put all these people in jail where they have all this information and knowledge about you floating around? You don't want that knowledge getting out. You don't want these people running around gossiping rumors about your ass. You know, put them in jail so they can all gossip to each other about all the shit they found out about different people they've been watching. Why don't we just kill all their asses, you know? And it sounds dramatic, you know, and it sounds crazy, but in my mind I see this epic scene where it's like thunder and lightning and people fucking murdering each other, and just me on a horse just going, hell yeah, get the fucking murder going. You know what I mean? I want you bastards to understand that I'm seriously here to get on a horse's back with a gun in my hand and lightning and rain and just fighting you people to the death. And that somehow or another I'm gonna make it happen in this modern age. And we're gonna fucking bring this shit back and make it happen again on your ass. Do you understand? I mean, get it in your fucking head, motherfucker. There's gonna be some people on horseback flying into your fucking house with machine guns, just mowing people down. And I don't think that you expected that. You know what I mean? Somewhere in the back of my mind, obviously being a little bit sarcastic, but so yeah, somewhere in the back of my mind, I figured it out that that wasn't what you were interested in with all this cowardly bullshit that you pull on me. Because I know that you're not doing this because you're afraid that if this gets out that your life will be put in harm's way. I know that you're doing this because you just want to enrich yourself at somebody else's behest, and you think you can get away with it, and you think that you're just untouchable, and that you're just up there somewhere where we can never fucking get to you. Well, guess what? We can get to you, bitch. You know? I mean, we can. I don't know if it's, you know, it's possible. I'm not saying it's plausible, but it is possible. And I'm just gonna try to make it happen, man. Okay? Your fucking ass is dead. Do you understand? You're fucking dead. And part of me hopes that I don't get my way on that, because it just seems too screwed up. But at the same time, disbanding the whole thing isn't good enough, you know? There's got to be people in jail over this shit, you know? And left in there for a fucking while, man, you know? It's really screwed up what's going on. And it's really beyond anything of the human imagination, really. If you think about the gear up that's going on, I mean, just take one guy out there that's recognized and realized shit, and he doesn't really have an audience yet. I mean, what the hell's going to happen to that guy, you know? I mean, you got to know that's going to happen. You know, that's going to happen all this fucking time, you know? Because probably that guy's going to end up dead, you know? And if he doesn't end up dead, then you're going to see a huge circus around his life, probably like what you see with mine, but he's probably going to end up dead, you know? And then there's going to be another guy not long after that who starts to realize, oh, it's time to kill him too, you know? And as we find out who these people are, that's as we kill them, you know? And the fact that we even have guns left is the only reason why this hasn't just completely blown up in our faces, because they're watching everybody. They're totally geared up against people. You know, I mean, that's a gear up. When you see thousands of people sitting around watching people all day long, that's gearing up on people. You know, that's gearing up on people to ruin fucking society. You know? And, jeez, man. You know, just the whole idea of taking people's guns away, that's another thing. The whole idea of taking people's guns away is so screwed up. It's so screwed up. I mean, just think about it. Why would a government want to take your guns away? You know? And it should be embarrassing to the people who do this, because we have so many guns that you're going to an informed and capable public and saying, okay, I want to make you a fucking slave now. You know? And you're just such a sorry piece of shit. You know? To think that you as a government would have somebody like me disarmed with all the goddamn threats that I've had to deal with and the shit that I go through, with people following me around and people coming out and making music about killing me and telling me they're wolves in sheep's clothing and all this, you know? I mean, to think that it wouldn't really take anything for you to take my guns away and my ability to defend my life, because there's probably gonna at some point, yeah, people are gonna barge in and fucking murder me, you know, and there'll be so many of them that if I don't just have a capable stockpile of weapons at my disposal, that I'm gonna fucking die, okay? And I'm not gonna have a fighting chance, okay? Whether or not I really don't even care to die or not, I could be suicidal at this point for all you know, from the goddamn substance abuse felony punishment facility that I found out was a Soviet brainwashing program that causes people to commit suicide, from reading the book $1 Trillion Conspiracy. That alone could leave me suicidal. So yeah, could easily be suicidal. But if you think about you know, the fact of somebody just still not having a fighting chance and just letting them trample that guy, you know, and trample all his fucking rights, and then what if he didn't? What if it was scary for him and he didn't want to die, you know? And I think that's what we should be talking about. Probably shouldn't even brought the other suicidal shit up. But, you know, probably all this shit with Acacia strains got me thinking about suicide and blowing my brains out and just being negative enough to do it. But, you know, the whole story of just the fact that you would leave somebody in that position, you know, it's really disgraceful. Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, it's just really disgraceful, and you know, I think that there is just such a lack of empathy involved in that it's just unreal, you know. It's a tantamount amount of you know, just a dispassionate mind state, okay? You are the most dispassionate people in the world. For one, you sit there and portray yourself to be some kind of compassion. You know, the left wing is so compassionate, so loving, and so caring, loves all people. But if you really look at it, I think that you're probably not that. You aren't. I mean, it's almost like sarcasm. I mean, I really think you're probably not that compassionate when you're trying to disarm people and make it to where you just have no idea. I mean, until you've lived through the experiences that I've lived through with people trying to kill me and avoiding death and avoiding assassination and you know, having nothing but a goddamn pellet gun and a flashlight, you know, when somebody's there to kill me with guns, I don't think that you could understand what that feels like. And to be honest with you, I didn't even have my phone. It was all just happened all of a sudden. I was looking for my phone and I was like, Jesus, I don't even have my phone. I was wanting to call the police, but I couldn't, you know? And until you've wound up in that situation, you really cannot speak to whether or not people shouldn't have guns, you know? It's just really disgusting, man, you know? That you would even put that in the back of somebody's mind that the government might take their guns or so easily make it to where you can't have guns, you know? Behind all these fictional crimes. Fiction. It's fiction. You know what I mean? When somebody puts you in jail for drugs, it's a fictional crime. You didn't really commit a crime. You know, and they've already got us, you know, like we're trying to pander to them over this and you know, feeding on our desperation as we sit here and call them victimless crimes when they're not even victimless crimes. You know, and just taking all of our lack of, you know, hope and just grinding us into the dirt with it, you know, because you're going to sit here and pander to these people and say it's a victimless crime. you pander to them by calling it a victimless crime, you know, and you know you're pandering. You know you don't think it's a crime at all, but you pander because you just hope that at some point, at the end of the day, somebody's going to give you your rights back and you're going to be able to live your own life without winding up in a goddamn cage. Because it's so fucking easy to wind up in a fucking cage, you know? And you're a human being, man. You don't deserve that, okay? God damn it. It's upsetting. It's unsettling. And it's disappointing that we're even having this conversation, you know? It's disappointing. And for the number of people we have locked up in this country for nothing, you know, it's like, I'd sit here and wonder, what the fuck am I even talking about anymore, you know? I got all this goddamn drama and stress going on in my life where it's the only thing I can talk about. And all these people are fucking rotting away, you know? I'll be honest, I'm trying to get this message out there, the message that I have to destroy drug prohibition, whatever you want to call it. Which it's not even really prohibition because you can't prohibit anything like that. You know, it's an active pursuit. Doing what I can do right now to get it out there. Probably the gatekeepers won't let me get to the people and get to the platform. And maybe I won't even be able to get it done, you know, but I'm trying, and I've already got quite a bit of that out there through YouTube and whatnot. I'm just saying, you know, it's you know, probably some people out there just even accuse me at this point with all the stuff that's been said about me and just think that I'm like holding on to knowledge and not getting out there enough and just wallowing in self-pity or whatever from listening to the Acacia strain. It's really not like that. It really was. It's the kind of shit that can really collapse your mind. Okay? Because it's too fucking heavy, you know? And you get too far into the middle of it and it's just, sometimes I think there's even a grand scheme of a design where all this stuff has been put on me by extraterrestrial forces so that I will absolutely collapse under the weight of it. And there's evidence to that effect. But I'm not thinking that's what's going on. What I am thinking is that it's totally disgusting and distressing to live in this goddamn nightmare of a country. And you wonder why people are getting racist, you know? I mean, listen, we're going to start getting racist because there's all these minorities that do nothing but vote for socialism, nothing but vote for welfare. They got pie in the sky fantasies. And I've got to conclude, based on the state of your countries of origin and your mind state and your unwillingness to stop believing in pie in the sky, that you are stupid and that you can't understand the way things are. Because you think that you have this understanding of a central authority as having so much power that essentially it's God. And that like Jesus came along and took a loaf of bread and could turn it into 1,000 loaves of bread, you think that the government is kind of like that. And it's not because you're a bad person. But it is indicative. Oh my God, it's hot in here. It feels like this fucking place is on fire or something. I think somebody caught it. I think this fucking place is on fire. It's too hot in here. Anyways, it feels like the second floor is on fire right now. So I'll get back to you guys and let you know if somebody came along and tried to fucking catch this place on fire while I was in it. But I'm not gonna have a hard time getting out, I'll tell you that. But you know, it's just listen. It just seems like y'all can't get it understood. And I'll say it like this. If you look at places like Venezuela, where every time they riot, it's just going to the government and telling them we want more free shit. You know? And I'm just letting y'all know because it's not that people are racist or anything. It's just that whenever the country gets so fucking bad, it's historically speaking, such as Germany, Nazi Germany, the first thing that people do is they start looking at the weaker side of things they start looking for people to blame shit on, and and they start looking for you know, minority ethnic groups and races and religions to blame everything on. So that's probably going to end up happening, even with myself. You know, it just gets frustrating for people when you're trying to get the fucking country together and you look around and you've got these and it's not even a stereotype. I mean, you just look at the welfare statistics for one, and then look at how people vote. I mean, seriously, it's scary, you know? It's really scary, man. And I mean, if you're a libertarian, you know, and you're a minority, I'm all for you, man. I want you to have 24 kids. I mean, you might as well go to the sperm bank and try to have 1,000 kids. Seriously. But if you're one of these welfare minorities who's just going to have 20 kids or 15 kids or 10 kids, and all those kids are going to end up on welfare, and then they're going to have 10 kids, and all those kids are going to end up. I mean, it's a scary situation. And I mean, there's got to be abortion, and essentially the human growth hormone companies. There's all this money being made by these doctors on abortion. Just pay the people, okay? Just pay these minorities to go and have abortions. Because let me tell you something. If they're getting paid to have an abortion, they're going to line up around the block. Okay? If you gave them each $1,000 to take an abortion, they'd line up around the block. And somebody else said that to me. I thought it was pretty funny. But in all seriousness, man, I just don't know what to say. I mean, I claim to be a political. I gotta go outside and make sure this place isn't burning. Oh God. Okay, well, officially this thing is blowing hot air. I don't know what is going on. Probably gonna have to call this video off. Yeah, so this thing has just turned into a heater. It'll blow nothing but heat. Officially. I have no idea what's even going on. But, holy shit. Anyways, fuck it. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. At this point, I'm not even going to be able to think clearly because this fucking thing won't. I don't think it's going to turn off. Yeah, this is fucked up. Alright, well, I'm done. I'll talk to you guys later. Shit.